Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com, and I'm going to talk about low back, another way of explaining it. The reason is it's very important. Your health will deteriorate when you have the symptoms of a low back, and I'm going to explain all the different symptoms. First, I'm going to show you how it happens. So, right here. And what I do a treatment called Hoi Chi, and I developed this system, and it's a mixture of acupuncture with no needles, um, chiropractics, but we're not popping bones or none of that kind of stuff. Acupressure, but I'm not going to be doing any pressure, and well, I do a pressure, but it's different. And Reiki, and there's other things. And this is what I'm going to try to explain how that works. Okay, uh, all right. The low back, it hurts when your tailbone is twisted. It goes off to one side or the other. And then it pinches a nerve right there, the sciatic nerve. That's where it goes right in there and it pinches a nerve and goes down your legs. And this is that those pain in the leg could be the sciatic nerve being pinched. Also, pain could be the 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 femur. The not in, it's not set up right. What it is, the body's held together by tendons and ligaments, not muscles. It's tendons and ligaments, and this is what happens. So they're not healthy, and then so you get everything is kind of missing out of, or it's out of alignment. And what happens, the pelvis right here, it goes over on this side and it goes over on this side. And what happens, that will one will come up and the other one will come down just a little bit. And when that happens, this one will come up, one will come down, and it makes this tailbone crooked. That's what pinches the nerves. Okay, now what happens when the pelvis gets twisted, right there, it's not straight across like it should be, it pinches a nerve in the bladder, and the bladder sits back there behind there somewhere. And then when it pinches that bladder, then you don't urinate properly. And you're urinating because you're getting rid of toxins. And those toxins come from the kidneys, which would be sitting right here, one on one side and one on the other side. And they drain into the bladder, and then you urinate it out. Okay, 90% of the people have a twisted pelvis. And what happens is this kidney or this kidney won't be functioning like it's supposed to. So you're going to be holding toxins on that side of the body. And what happens is on that side of the body, if it's on this kidney, then this side of the body you're going to have problems on. That's 100% accurate. I have not found anybody that doesn't apply to if the pelvis is twisted. And then once that happens, then like I say, this won't be right. The hip the hip bone, and that's because you got tendons that are holding. Tendons and ligaments are hard. They stretch. You don't do them like a muscle. And that's why stretches are so important. You see athletes do the stretches. That's why they're doing it. Okay, now, so what's going to happen is once the pelvis is twisted, both hips will be out. Now, more than likely, you're not going to feel hip pain on both sides, maybe on one side. But let's say it is on this side, that you might get some pain on that hip. You might have some discomfort on that knee, or even the foot and ankle. And when I do treatments, I treat from the feet all the way up to the top of the head. And what I'm treating, not only the physical part of the body, but I also treat how the energy flows through the body. And the reason is when the energy's not flowing properly, then, that's where the pain comes from. If your shoulder's hurting, it'll be because the chi's not moving through there. And that's where the stress comes up. You'll find a shoulder will be kind of a little bit of discomfort. That's stress. And what I do is when I treat it, I relieve that stress. And when that stress is gone, then you have circulation, and then the pain goes away. And that applies on everything on that side where the kidney is messed up. Symptoms on when the pelvis is twisted is, like I say, the pain on the different joints, or that side of the body, anything on that side of the body. Women will they won't have good control over their bladder. They'll sneeze and have a leak. Men, the prostate will swell. Now I can't really say 100% of men with a swollen prostate has that. When I talk about the percentage, I'm talking about what I've noticed when I treat people. So, but like I say, a lot of times we don't even talk about it. But if you do have a swollen prostate, the pelvis will probably be the problem. And like I say, so that's going to be fixed. And but anyway, this is what I wanted to try to explain. It's the procedure to doing this is very simple, very fast. The problem with a lot of practicing whatever is they don't fix all of these problems. I've heard some chiropractors say, well, yeah, I can fix your twisted pelvis, but they don't fix the hips, the knees, and the feet. And if you don't, then it's all going to come right back again. And besides that, if you drink pop messes up the kidneys. And then when the kidneys aren't working right, then right back to you're going to have a twisted pelvis. So this is just a small bit of the symptoms that come along with it. But like I say, 90% of the people have that. So in other words, 90% of the people are sick some way or another. That'll affect your digestion. It'll affect the way you get rid of toxins. It's a big deal. But anyway, I wanted to kind of explain that to you, and that affects all of the tendons, ligaments, and then, like I say, even in your fingers, arthritis is toxins being caught in the joints. It's not circulating, and so you have to get toxins out. And the first thing is, don't put less toxins in, more toxins out, and then you're going to have better health. What I've noticed is when they get about 60 years old, you normally have so much toxins in you, and you have bad habits. Your lifestyle, what you eat, and all this stuff is bad, and you don't want to change. And you've got so much in you, it's going to take years for this stuff to get out if you have a correct diet. But most of the time, 60 and over, they don't change anything. So that's why it's not a good thing. But between 30 and 50, 55, you really need to get all this taken care of. And if not, you're going to have problems in the future. I mean, it's a guaranteed thing. But anyway, I wanted to tell you what was going on and how it works, because it is a big deal. Anyway, this Mike, NoStressMike.com.